Good morning, Oxbow Creek, and welcome back to another beautiful week. It's actually the last week in September already, and that is amazing to me. And thank you for all of you who participated in the fundraiser. If you still have packets and things out there, we'll still take them. Of course, bring them in, but preliminarily, it looks like we just did a great job once again. In fact, right now, while I'm filming this, we've got a bunch of volunteers who are sorting through the packets, counting the money, pulling it all together. Mr. Skratsky, let's go say thanks to these guys. Now, these guys are all volunteers. They're just doing this because they love Oxbow, they love being at their kids' school, and they're really great workers. Come here. Hi, you guys. Can you wave to the camera? You're on camera. These are all our wonderful parent volunteers who are doing all this help, all that work that you guys did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. It really is great that we have so many parents here at Oxbow that volunteer their time to come in and make this a better place for all of you. And remember, the money that you guys helped raise for the school, that's what goes to pay for things like some of the field trips we do, the artists in residency when Mr. La Rochelle comes in. Some of you remember him. Second graders, you're going to do that James Hirsch concert again this year, which is always great. The Science Museum, the Zoomobile, all those things are possible because you guys helped out that way. And we can't thank your parents enough. It's fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, we have a great group of student leaders in this school, our student leadership team, and they've already got an initiative that they'd like to tell you about here. And I've got Mrs. Resch down here to tell us about that.
The focus for this month for the student leadership team is to increase the awareness of our school community about childhood cancer. Childhood cancer affects 43 children and teenagers every day. Well, actually, it affects more students than that every day, but 43 new students are identified as having childhood cancer. It is the #1 disease killer of American children and adolescents. It's important to know, though, that we don't know what causes childhood cancer. It is not because of bad lifestyle choices, like years of smoking or poor diet or drinking alcohol. Some kids are even born with cancer. If a child has cancer, he or she did nothing wrong to cause the cancer to occur. Cancer is not contagious. Others cannot catch cancer. Actually, friends and family need to worry about passing along illness or infections to children with cancer. It is important to remember that kids with cancer need everyone's help to feel better. We're hoping that you will help increase our community's awareness of childhood cancer by wearing gold on September 30th at the end of the week, Friday. So remember to wear gold Friday, September 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Resch, and thank you to the student leadership team for bringing that to our attention. It's such a sad thing when you see kids with cancer. Well, we also have something coming up in the month of October here, and that is National Bullying Prevention Month. And we've just been informed by one of our parents about a kind of a fun event that we're going to do on Sunday night. I'm going to announce this to the parents. This next Sunday night, though, some of you are going to come to Oxbow and cover our sidewalks with sidewalk chalk with words of encouragement and positivity against bullying. And so I'm hoping on Sunday night and even Monday morning we have some of you show up, and we've just got a beautiful display of all the wonderful things that we can do instead of bullying. So thanks to our parents for setting that up this coming weekend. And then I just thought I'd read a book. I've got a great book. I was at a conference and it was handed to me by the president of all of our association of principals around the whole nation. And he gave me a book called Last Stop on Market Street. And I just loved it. And I thought I would share it with you all today. So I hope you have a couple of minutes for a good book. CJ pushed down through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. He ducked under the Nana's umbrella, saying, "How come we gotta go wait for the bus in all this wet?" "Trees get thirsty too," his Nana told him. "Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw?" CJ looked for a long time, but never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in, gave CJ a wave, and drove off with his dad. "Nana, how come we don't got a car?" "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the doors swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear, placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh and pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same. The bus lurched forward and stopped, lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always got to go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." "I feel sorry for those boys," she told him. "They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the Sunglass Man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side, watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. "How come that man can't see?" "Boy, what do you know about seeing?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses, too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. "Sure wish I had one of those," he said. Nana set down her knitting. "What for?" "You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered. "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers, too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves, saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky, saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of magic. The song ended, and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. "Last stop on Market Street," Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti-tagged windows and boarded-up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. "How come it's always so dirty over here?" She smiled and pointed to the sky. "Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful." CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight, and the broken street lamps still lit up bright, and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted the familiar faces in the window, he said, "I'm glad we came." He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, "Me too, CJ. Now come on." Well, I hope you enjoyed that book as much as I did when it was given to me. You know, there's so much that we can find in good books, and I know from kindergartners all the way through fifth graders, you're finding great books this year, and I hope you take advantage of that opportunity because we're very fortunate to have all that we do. I'm going to end the announcements this week with jokes. Starting next week, I'm going to start featuring kids. I'm excited about that as well. These were a couple of dino jokes given to us by Athena in 3ER. What do you call a sleeping dinosaur? A stegosaurus. A stegosaurus. And how did a Stone Age wrecking crew blast through mountains? With dynamite, of course, the might of the dinosaurs. And this is from Madeline in 2KH. This is kind of gross, I'm sorry. What's the difference between boogers and broccoli? Kids won't eat broccoli. I also hope the kids aren't eating boogers, but oh well. That's it for this week and the end of September. Everybody have a great week, and we'll see you back here next Monday.